Hi, good evening. Depending on the time that you are watching this video, it might be a good morning, good afternoon, or yeah, a good evening. So my name is Gaurav, and I'm trying to cover in this video today about how marketing is evolving. There is a lot of discussions around whether companies, whether new firms should adopt digital marketing or how this digital marketing can help them. A lot of speculations are there, but yes, what the research suggests, what great authors have spoken about the changing landscape of marketing, we'll be taking a look at that. This video is probably for business owners, for agency owners, for students who want to know about the changing ecosystem of marketing. So without further ado, let us get directly into our presentation. So hopefully the screen is visible. This entire topic I've divided into three parts where we'll be looking at the marketing mix that existed decades ago, and yeah, there it is still in use today as well. And then how this marketing mix is changing, converting from the four P's of marketing mix to four C's, and why there was a need for this change. So that is again something of our interest. So moving from four P's to four C's, traditional to modern, that is what we are looking at it this time. So let us first begin with the traditional marketing mix. When there is a product, there is definitely a target market, because a product cannot be of use to each and everyone, or a product is never developed with the core intention of making it usable to each and everyone or available to each and everyone. So when there is a product developed, it is for a set of market in which it will be launched, or it will be of most use. Now, marketing mix as such is a tool that marketers mostly use to decide where or what the marketing objectives needs to be set and how to attain them. So traditionally, if we look at, it helps us identify what to offer and how to offer. These are the two main questions that it helps us answer. What is that we are trying to offer, and how is that we are going to offer it to the end users? What more it talks about, like I already spoke about, it is about setting and planning marketing objectives, and it is also a tool to attain marketing objectives. Now, if we look or dive deep into it, basically it is about the four P's, and this model is also most of the time termed as the producer-oriented model. We'll try to understand what is a producer-oriented model in a little while. If we look at the history of four P's, it was first coined by Jerome McCarthy in 1960, and he's again a marketing professor and an author. So he came up with these four things: product, price, place, and promotion. So when we are trying to answer what to offer, it is the product, what we are trying to offer. Again, the second component of what to offer is at what price we are going to offer them. Then comes the next two: how to offer is where we want to offer it, how, in which place, and how it is going to be promoted to people, or how is the message going to reach to the target audience. So these are four P's that were used in the traditional model. Now, when we talk about a product, it is basically talking about what a customer needs and want. As simple as that. What the customer is needing at this moment. So that is what the product must try to solve. And where do we get this idea? What the customer is in need is conducting marketing research. Marketing research, again, is a time consuming process. It includes a lot of cost, and many times the marketing research outcome may not be by the time you design and develop the product based on a marketing research. In the today's dynamic world, it is possible that the product that you bring up is either outdated, or the needs have changed. So that's one challenge that I have rightfully pointed out, which I was about to cover in the challenge part. Now, what it includes? It includes variety. What are the different variety? Let's say if it is a Lux soap, so what are the different fragrance of Lux soap that we want to launch? Take example. and you will be easily able to relate it. You talk about automobile, you have different variety. You have models like E2, E4, E6, E8. What's the quality of the product that the customer is wanting? What design has to be there in the product? For example, it should have two jacks, one jack in case of a smartphone. How it is, what the packaging should look like, what are the other services that we are going to offer. Like many a times, if you are buying a white good, they will say 5 years warranty on motor, something like that. What are the other features that this product has, and what's the brand name? So these are few things that you will be talking about when you are designing, or when we are talking about product, what to offer. Now, when we talk about price, most firms take these three approach: as a cost based approach, a competition based approach, and the customer value based approach. So, what are these three things? Cost based approach is quite simple, like how much cost you are incurring in manufacturing of the product, marketing of the product, and then you add a margin to it, dealer margin, distributor margin, your company's margin, and then you come up with a price. So that becomes a cost based pricing model. Competition based pricing model, simple: what are the different price point at which different competitors are offering the same product in your market, and then you probably place your position your product in a price band which will be giving the highest value to your consumer. Now, customer value based pricing model is something, for the first time in the entire 4P model, this is where the customer's input are primarily taken. So how much is the customer willing to pay for the product that you have developed or the service that you are trying to offer? So in the entire process, this is once in the marketing research, and then this is the only place where the customer is directly interacting or giving his input of designing the pricing of the product. Now, what it all includes is it includes the list price, the MRP, the discounts, the payment period, and the credit terms. Many times you will find it on the online platform, or maybe when you again buy something like a car or a home. So there is a credit term. You have a EMI option. These all things. So when you talk about price, you need to consider these points. Now, these two things we try to identify what to offer. Now, moving ahead, how to offer. So place where, definitely place where you want to offer it, and it should be primarily convenient and easily available to your users, end users. That's the primary motive of deciding at which place the product must be available. Now, it includes channels, through which channels this product will be available, what will be the coverage, how it will be assorted. Assortments can also be the type of stacking that they do while transferring or shipping the product from one place to another, the locations at which it will be delivered, the inventory, how much inventory they should maintain, or the transportation, how these things need to be transported, whether they need a cold chamber to be transported or it's a liquid form, how it will be transported. That's a question that we are trying to answer in this phase. And logistics, whether it will be taken through air, through water, through land, how it is going to be delivered. So that's one thing. Moving ahead, when we talk about promotions, uh, in this place, we are trying to communicate all these things that we have identified in a very beautiful manner, in a very sophisticated manner that our customer feel attracted to the offering. So we need to communicate the product, about the product. What necessarily we need to communicate are the unique selling propositions or the values that the customer can derive. The price, the place, the sales promotion, advertising, personal selling if there is any, public relations, newspaper ads, those all things. These all things comes under promotion. So these were the traditional 4 Ps that help firm identify how and what to offer. Now, the challenge with this model was, the first challenge that I told you was here. By the time the marketing research and the outcome is there at your hand, and when you design this product and bring up to the market, there's a huge gap. Means this model is not dynamic. This model is very old fashioned, given the type of information bombardment and the type of information, or you say the changing requirement of customer, the speed has increased. This model doesn't find itself fitting. The second thing is the customer is involved at just two places mostly, here in the marketing research part, and here when a firm decides to go for a customer value based pricing model. So only these two places mostly the customer is involved. So these were the primary two challenges. And as I already told you here, is mostly told as or called as producer oriented model. So it is focuses more on seller's view and not on the buyer's view. Not agile, less dynamic. So it's self-explanatory. These models are not agile, not dynamic. It is quite old-fashioned. Now, recently in Marketing 4.0, a book written by Philip Kotler and two of his co-authors, Hermavan and Van. In this book, they came up with, or they replaced the 4 P's with 4 C's. Now, when we talk about product, this entire thing was primarily done at the producer end. But here we are talking about co-creation. What's the difference? The customer is involved in the creation process or the designing of the product from the very initial stage, from the starting of the product. So the product is developed in discussion with the consumer. It is rapidly prototyped. The errors are reduced, and this model has certain benefits. What the benefit is that? So solution or value, not the product. That is what a customer is wanting at this time. And it is exactly what is happening when the customer is involved in the initial stages of product development. Now, new product development strategy confirms get ideas of what newer products or what next line of product that they can launch. So that's what they can understand when they frequently talk to their end users. Improve success rate of the new product launches, because it is just they have spoken with the consumers, they are repeatedly reiterating it, they are remodifying it, they are prototyping it. So the success rate becomes higher. They are minimizing risk and maximizing success rate. Customized and personalized products, so you get an option to customize and personalize the product and offerings according to your need. Like in Apple, in case of Apple, you have your name engraved in some of the products like that. In Dell, in case of Dell, you can customize the entire product online and then they will ship it to your place. So that's one thing. So co-creation, product development completely changed. The way it was developed is completely changed. It is now co-creation model. Now currency. Think about how Amazon, Flipkart, and these all marketplaces, they charge you. There's no fixed pricing. Let's suppose you are a frequent user of Amazon, and you are getting a price of a book, let's say of 249 rupees. Now your friend, one of your friend has just opened an Amazon account. He might be getting the same book at 219 rupees. So it's very dynamic. Why is that? Because they want him to onboard, have that experience of buying it online for the first time. So give them a little bit of more privilege and let them have the opportunity to buy. So that's the reason. And many a times your behavior online has been tracked. Most of the times it is tracked, and then the pricing it is decided. Let's say we have seen many a times when an example as you are trying to book Uber through an Apple device and then Uber through, one second, or you are booking it through an Android device, or on the other hand you are booking it through your Apple device. So Uber will have a different pricing for the same distance. That's dynamic pricing. So in traditional mode, what was happening when you decide on a price and you want to change the price of the product, it is very difficult. Is a is a process in which many things are involved. For example, you have to change the packaging, you have to change the pricing on the package. Many times customer are very sensitive about those changes. So these all things need to be considered. But today, with the dynamic world, with the proliferation of internet, the customer also wants something really in this form. Now, when we talk about communal activation, so the biggest example I will be citing here is of all the products that you see today around is like you talk about Oyo, you talk about Uber, you talk about Ola. These are all a peer-to-peer activation, means the company doesn't own anything. is just people sharing it with people. So peer to peer, this model has come up, having a cross channel presence. Now it is not only possible that you set up a store and you sit back that people will come and you will have sales. Now you need to be present on multiple channels. You need to be present online on different channels like Facebook, Twitters, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, wherever possible. So you need to have your website. So you need to have an omni channel or cross channel presence. So examples can be, I can think about example like when you do not get a proper service, you go and tweet on the Twitter and you immediately get your means queries resolved. So that is how things have been evolving. So I had already given you an example of Airbnb, Uber, Ola, Oyo, YouTube. Then these brands, they own nothing, but it's just people to people. Now, a classical example in context, if I have to give you, you have companies like Royal Enfield and Thar. They are also means promoting this communal activation type of thing because they focus more on building communities around our Royal Enfield lovers and Thar lovers, calling them for different drives, events, and means, a thrilling event, adventure event when we talk about Thar, and long drives on when we talk about Royal Enfield. So try to identify if your business can have such kind of communal activation or a community kind of thing that you can build, because then the word of mouth will spread more faster, and you can expect numbers, sales definitely. And then one more example is of instant delivery and instant access. So you can talk about Swiggy and Zomato. When the things need to be shipped to you at a very shorter period of time, it is just the platform that becomes an what you say, a facilitator. On one side there are hotels and restaurants, on the other side there is a customer, and they just use the platform and making instant delivery and instant access possible. So try to identify if your business has something like this possible. Now conversation. So communal activation was a replacement of a place, currency was a replacement of price, co-creation was a replacement of product. Now the last part is conversation or promotion. Now how often when you get advertisements on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whenever you open a mobile, how often you feel like buying it? You don't feel like buying it because most of the companies or most of the smaller brands, they what they do is they just want you to make a purchase. So their pitch is always about sales, sales, sales. Now but that thing has changed. You need to start focusing on creating content that is educating your consumer rather than asking about sales every time, right? So offer, it helps in offering evaluation. Previously what was happening, the promotion was one sided, the consumer cannot interact with those promotions, they cannot give feedback to those promotions. But recently what has happened with web 2.0, what has happened, you can instantly give your feedback to the advertisement, you can comment, you can dislike. So these all things are there now. So it has enabled two-way communication, and like I already told you, it must be educational and not promotional as always. And take an example of TripAdvisor here. You will clearly understand because the travelers, the people, those who love visiting places, they will be posting reviews on TripAdvisor, and that community of travelers will be discussing more about where to visit, how to take a route, which route to take, how to take, which transportation to take, and where to enjoy these all things. So the conversation now is again very dynamic, and multiple platforms are there where they do the conversation. It is not one way, it is a two-way. So I hope I have made you clear how things have been changing from 4Ps to 4Cs in my this effort. And by the way, we are about to close the video. Before closing, we are a consulting company, marketing consulting company, and if you want any type of consulting services, want to understand whether a new business model that you are trying to embark on is profitable, or whether you have a business and you want to understand how online marketing and advertising can help you improve sales, you can connect us. Our contact detail is so and so 82977880007. 9937342453. Book a free consultation. We'll be there for you. 10-15 minutes of call, and let us understand each other. Let us understand your business and see if we can help you out. Signing off, Gaurav Kumar. Take care. I hope this has brought some value. And if yes, give us a thumbs up, a comment. So bye bye. Take care, and see you soon.